welcome to episode 437 of Connected from Relay FM. I got really mixed up because I looked at the document and saw that it was my name to do the thing, and I wasn't ready, but everybody else went quiet for a second. If you were listening to the Pro Show, you would have noticed that. This episode is brought to you by ZocDoc, Squarespace, and Indeed. I don't remember if I introduced myself. My name is Mike Hurley, and I am happy to introduce Federico Viticci.
Phew, okay, I was concerned you were not.
I'm a professional, apparently, and that is what I did.
You're Mike. You're Mike. That's good to know. Hi, how are you? You good? Yeah?
I don't know, man.
You doing all right over there?
I don't think so. I don't.
Okay. And it's my pleasure to also introduce Mr. Stephen Hackett. Hello, Stephen.
Hello. We're back.
I'm back. You guys were always here.
How's the snakes?
The snakes were exotic snakes. The kind that have a special kind of fiber in them. So,
Okay.
Fibery snakes. No, I enjoyed the episode. Thank you for doing an excellent job as always, guys. It was really enjoyable discussion, and I appreciated the references to snakes and ISP fires, and I can confirm both are things that actually happened in my life, or at least they told me they happened. I don't know if they were true, but they happened.
You turned the fiber into something, the snakes into fiber, right? You have fiber now. You got good fast internet now.
I finally have gigabit fiber. So to give you a bit of a summary of how it all went down, so we moved in July, right? We've been living in a new apartment since July of last year, and we were told. All the people, like when we moved in July, 3 out of 33 apartments were occupied by people, and we were one of those apartments. And so initially we were told, "Oh, you guys gotta wait for fiber. It's not been activated yet." And so we started waiting, and in the meantime, I started using personal hotspot, and then I bought one of those mobile routers with a SIM card inside, and we were told like in September, "Oh no, it's not ready yet." And so we kept waiting until in January. I got tired of waiting. I was like, it seems impossible to me that we've been living here, and now of course the building has filled up with other people. And it seems impossible to me that we're here. This building obviously exists. There's people living in it, and we still cannot get an internet connection here. Turns out that the building company didn't know that there's an official procedure with an actual website where you need to go if you are a company that builds buildings to say this piece of land upon which we constructed the building needs to have an internet connection activated. And there's like a whole thing you need to do if you do this for a living to tell one of the major Italian ISPs, please come here and lay a fiber cable and connect us to the internet. Me and another guy, we had to tell the building company, go to this webpage and fill out this form with your information. After a week, we had fiber. It seems incredible to me that like I had to figure out what the bottleneck was from a bureaucratic perspective. But anyway.
Maybe you just got yourself a new job in this building company.
I mean, if it's this easy, I don't know. Geez. Anyway, so I go to the website, and I was doing this with you guys on iMessage. The website tells me, hey, you can buy for 30 euros a month 1 gigabit connection, or for 10 euros more, so 40 euros a month, you can have a 10 gigabit connection, 10 gigabit fiber. I was like, I mean, for sure, for 10 euros more, it's going to be 10 times faster. I mean, sure, I'm going to do 10 gigabit. And you guys were like, yeah, if you can, future-proof yourself, do the 10 gigabit, even if it's going to be relatively useless right now, but do it. And so I did it. And I put in an order for 10 gigabit fiber, and I sent in my documents, I signed a bunch of things, and I started waiting again. And everybody else in the building was like, well, I didn't go for the 10 gigabit. I went for the 1 gigabit, and the ISP guy came today, and I have an internet connection finally. And nothing was moving on my end. I was like, I don't know, 3 days, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks, 10 days. Like, no, when it became too much, I started investigating this. So basically, long story short, there was an error on the ISP website. I couldn't really buy the 10 gigabit fiber. It was fake news.
Misinformation.
There was no 10 gigabit support yet. And I went in basically as soon as the webpage for our street address, once it became available, I think I was actually the first person to go there and say, I want 10 gigabit fiber. And it wasn't really true. It's going to be true in a few months, it sounds like. And maybe at that point I will reconsider. But yeah, I canceled my request, put in a new request for a regular 1 gigabit fiber. And in 3 days, I was connected. So I have 1 gigabit fiber and it's life-changing, guys. Like it's truly...
you don't think about it anymore.
No, it's truly life-changing. Like uploading podcast recordings takes 20 seconds. It's like, I never had this before.
This is when you start recording in WAV, right? Because this is like, well, what's the point? I might as well. Like, it's no problem. Yeah, it's great.
And everything was like before when I had to download like a 3 gigabit file. I was like, oh man, this is gonna take like 45 minutes or something. Now it takes 30 seconds.
Digital video games become like so good. It's just so good. You download things to your PlayStation or whatever, and it's done like in an hour.
Exactly.
They're still slow, right? But you are getting it at the fastest speed that they can deliver.
Yes.
The networks
updates, downloading games on Steam or the PS Store, like it's incredible. Mm-hmm. And speaking of video games, something that I started doing this week, streaming video games. So I set up the NVIDIA GeForce Now cloud streaming service. It's wild. You can pay for the ultimate tier, and they give you access to better image quality, including the data centers upgrades. NVIDIA, for people who pay more, are upgrading their servers to have 4080 GPUs in the server racks. And so you can now do things like, for example, I was playing Cyberpunk 2077 at Ray Tracing Ultra. So it's like the top tier graphical settings you can have at 60 frames per second on my iPhone via a web app.
Ridiculous.
Just that having that kind of setup at home would be space consuming and energy consuming. Here I'm
cost prohibitive.
And cost prohibitive. Here I'm just, streaming a video game because I have fiber. I'm so happy. And I'm also very happy that I preemptively laid Cat 6 Ethernet cable everywhere as I spoke with Steven. It's right now I am recording at my desk. I have 935 megabits down and something like 310 up. I'm very happy. It's incredible. I finally have what I always wanted. And super good.
That's awesome. I am very glad about your upload speed because for the last several months, I've had to wait like half an hour for the file.
Yes.
Everyone that works at Federico is as happy as Federico.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So OTJ and Steven have got a little present here for this. Yeah.
We definitely do. I want to talk about the Dawn for a second.
Yeah, the Dawn.
We have stood up relayfm.social. This is going to be...
Are we still on the Dawn?
We are on the Dawn more than
ever.
ever.
It, baby.
They didn't kick us out?
Done.
Okay, cool.
I'm donning.
Yeah, he's donning all over the place. So the show can be found at relayfm.social. The network is there. Some of our other shows will be joining over the next few days. I'm kind of doing it slowly because when you migrate, it crushes everything for a while. Everything's very slow.
Yeah, it's bad. Mm-hmm.
But Connect is there, MPU is there, Clockwise and Upgrade are there, and I'm sure others will join us. So if you already followed, then you got moved right along. So we're excited about this, and I think it's going to be we got some work to do. There's some things that we want to do, like set some webhook stuff up so the CMS can post when shows go live. We had that on Twitter. We don't have that on Mastodon yet. The master feed is just being served by a if this then that applet, but we got big plans for this, and really, Federico, like you kind of led the way here.
I did.
In setting up your own and and getting that going, and so
well, and also doing the like what I consider brain like manipulation, brainwashing of me just through app stories. Like I just multiple episodes of
Interesting.
app stories talking about Mastodon clients, and I'm just like the whole time like, maybe this is interesting, and now here I am. You know.
Well, I am glad that although that was not my goal, I am
Yeah,
glad
whatever.
that the outcome was still that. So,
Okay.
yeah, very well. I should consider more brainwashing.
hey, I've got to go sign for a piece of furniture. Can you guys give me like 5 minutes?
Yep.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Ridiculous. You know what I
Science
mean?
for furniture.
Unbelievable. Do you think that's code for something?
I think so.
So I gotta go wink sign for some wink
Sign-
wink furniture.
Furniture.
Do you think that means he needs to use the bathroom?
It's interesting. I mean, that's a very elaborate metaphor.
I don't know.
Oh, huh. Interesting.
Let's sign for some furniture.
You know what I need, Mike? I need some compact desk light to bring some color to this desk.
I heard John suggest, and it's also my recommendation, like one of the little Hue lamp things. They have like some small Hue lamps. They have that like tube
portable
one,
one.
and they have the ball one.
There's a tube one.
Oh yeah, baby, but they're not.
But they're
got
not
like
portable.
no. Well, they are, but they got like this base, so like it's
Ah,
not.
the base is fine.
Let me show you. The base might be too big though.
Oh.
It's called Gradient. Signe Gradient, Signe. Oh, they've made the table lamp one much nicer.
Yeah, the go.
No,
Is
no,
there-
no, no. This is something else. You hold on one moment. Take a look at that thing. You might like this. They make a big one and a little one. I have the big one. Steven has the big one too. But it's like
Ooh, okay.
I feel like
Okay.
aesthetically this fits you.
Yes.
And it's like you can shine it at you or like at the wall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
They have a black one and a white one.
The small one.
That's what I was thinking of, the small one.
The small one see they have a promo photo, which is what I want to do. At
Yeah.
the side
Shine it at the wall. Yeah.
in one of the corners of the desk, shining at the wall. Yeah.
Oh, this website's clever. You can tap the scene buttons and it changes. That's really clever
Oh,
at the top of the
nice.
website.
Okay. Yeah.
That's very smart.
Yeah. Savannah Sunset.
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever. Nice animation.
There you go. That might be what you're looking for.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for the tip. This small one. Yeah, because once I get the new desk, I gotta figure out the cable management solution again. And my thought was I am gonna put my audio stuff and the CalDigit TS4 on top of the drawers,
Yep.
right? So the cables, they can come out from either underneath the desk for like my headphones and stuff. And I also have easy access to it, but the studio display needs to go down there, right? So I need to study this. But if I put this lamp, I could actually cover the hole with the base of the lamp.
Steven, how was your furniture experience?
It was good. So we bought the sectional, and then we're like, oh, the TV table doesn't really go here anymore. So
New TV
placing
table.
that all came today. It came in 9 boxes, so I guess I know what my weekend's going to be.
What? How big
Nice.
is it?
It's not big. Well, you've been in my den. It's basically
Well-
the size of what's in there now.
Let's just say you think it's not big, but it's in 9 boxes, so maybe it's bigger than you thought it was. That's all. Unless it's like small boxes.
None of them were big. The biggest one was like clearly the top of the piece. So, anyways, sorry. I just knew they were gonna show up as soon as we recorded.
Yeah.
That's how it always works.
We're probably ready to move on to the next topic.
We have a new entrance into the everything is a computer category. This is an Apple Insider article. I just want to read the first sentence of this article. Apple recently issued a firmware update for the 2-meter USB-C to MagSafe 3 charging cable, but it's unknown what it updates or fixes.
What's going on over there, man?
I don't know, but the first comment from John White 1001, still hoping for firmware updates for the Apple polishing cloth.
That's good. That's actually better than I thought it was going to be. I thought you were going to say something wild.
That's a pretty good comment.
So I can't really imagine the comments on the Apple Insider articles are typically full of like insightful things.
Well, you never know.
Just going to say.
But so yeah, apparently this will run at some point when you are using MagSafe on your MagSafe equipped laptop. There doesn't seem to be any UI or anything that tells you what firmware version of the cable you're running.
Do you think the cable reboots? Like right? Like
Maybe.
Like what? It just like you can replace some firmware that apparently exists and like nothing changes? That's super weird, man.
Maybe.
I don't like all of this. This isn't good. This doesn't make me feel good.
You know, maybe it you're charging and then just like the little LED, you know, usually it's green or orange, but like it turns red for a second and then it comes back. Very strange. Very strange. We spoke, I think this was in the Pro Show. I don't remember, but I'm going to put it here. K9 Play is a listener of the show. They sent a little ice sculpture swan 3D print to me in the P.O. box. And they have now put the file up on Thingiverse. So if you have a 3D printer and you want to make your own little an ice letter for Connected, you can print one out for yourself. It's very cool.
And I would like to read something sent into fileofeedback.com, which is where you can go to send feedback in for this show. And it came from Dylan, who says, "Hey boys, I thought I should write in to talk about my long thighs.
No.
I've measured them to be 48 centimeters, which is 19 inches long.
Yes,
I couldn't find any online data on average thigh length. I mean, I don't know why you couldn't. But I'm guessing from my height, my thighs are longer than most. Do I get a prize for having the longest thighs of anyone in the Connected audience? Maybe the winner can get access to longthigh.social. In case you were wondering, my height is 2.03 meters or 6 feet 8 inches. Dylan's a big one. Dylan also included
There's a thigh photo.
A thigh photo with a tape measure. Okay. So,
I have a tape measure.
Oh, I don't, but I know I don't have bigger thighs than this.
Can I go grab mine?
Let me get my
Hold
ruler.
on, I'm just gonna grab my tape
Okay.
measure.
So
on.
I am 6 feet tall. I'm 8 inches shorter than Dylan, which sounds like a lot when you say it that way. I'm going to measure my thigh here, and I'm coming in at about 16 inches.
So we're doing this from what? Like, it looks like it's going right into the hip, right?
Yeah, to the end of the kneecap.
Yeah.
I'm closer to 17,
All right.
I think.
Okay.
17
So
inches.
let's see. I'm gonna measure how Dylan measures.
This is terrible. This is a terrible podcast. What are we doing?
Oh man, I have a smaller thigh.
Well, I mean, that's for sure. So what are you coming in at?
43 centimeters.
I'm 42 centimeters. I was really hoping I was going to have longer thighs than you.
No, you're also you're shorter, and you also have a shorter thigh. Now Dylan wins.
Dylan wins big time, but Dylan's throwing down the gauntlet, right? Hey, passionate ones, do you have bigger, longer thighs than Dylan? There is an image in the show notes. If you do,
Yes.
send us an image.
Yes.
Go to fileofeedback.com. You got to upload the image somewhere and put a link in because we don't currently have, I don't know if we ever will have image uploads.
Nope.
Probably best not to ever have that.
Nope, I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
So you can upload them somewhere and put a URL in. Dylan used Imgur. Imgur works. We need this photographic evidence to see if you have a longer thigh than Dylan.
Yes.
You can go to fileofeedback.com or you can submit it. You know, just click the link in the show notes to send in feedback for the show. Winner will be known as longest thigh. Who wouldn't want to be known as longest thigh?
King thigh. King thigh.
Yeah, you can be king thigh.
King thigh.
Chairman thigh.
German.
Thigh chairman. There we go. Thigh. If you would like to be thigh
His
chairman.
royal thighness.
Hey! We'll go with their royal thighness, but yes, I love it.
Their royal thighness.
Their
Okay.
royal thighness. Congratulations, Stephen.
Well
On
done,
that, you
Stephen.
do not take the Thinus trophy. Currently, Dylan is their Royal Thinus.
Yes.
Do you have longer thighs? Let us know.
Why is this a podcast?
This is definitely worse than the weirdest listener, right? When we did you remember that, Federico?
This has what was it? Oh yeah, from the weird places. Yes.
Yes, who was
Yes.
like the most remote place, and I checked it based on stats from the show.
Was this podcast a mistake?
Not yet.
Is this
This
is this
We'll
the
find
thing-
out in a
is
week.
this the worst thing we've ever done? Probably.
I'll
Probably.
get back to you on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. That might be worse. Harmonizing might be worse.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
This was once the world's greatest podcast, and now we're whatever this is. This episode of Connected is brought to you by ZocDoc. If you've ever stewed over a health problem you have, maybe you text a friend, or maybe you drop a link in the group chat, hey, look at this thing. That's not a great way to find quality medical advice, but you can find it from a doctor on ZocDoc. Thousands of medical professionals on ZocDoc are there to help you. They listen like a friend, but then give you the expert care you need that, again, you're probably not finding in that group iMessage thread. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. Finding a doctor that you can trust, that you can form a relationship with, that's hard. And trying to call around to a bunch of offices and seeing if they're even accepting new patients, it's really frustrating when you really just want to get in and see somebody. That's why ZocDoc is so important. There's no more scouring the internet for questionable reviews. With ZocDoc, you have a trusted guide to connect to your favorite doctor who you haven't met yet. Millions of people use this free app to find and book a doctor in their neighborhood who is patient-reviewed, fits their needs, and fits their schedule. Go to ZocDoc.com/connected and download the ZocDoc app for free. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/connected. There you can find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/connected. Our thanks to ZocDoc for the support of the show and all of Relay FM.
Roast me, Daddy.
Yes.
Yes.
Roast me. Let's roast Apple Watches. So we have completed a selection of roasts in the past. macOS docks, macOS menu bars, iPhone home screens, iPad home screens, desks. We have some other ones in the future. Today, we're roasting Apple Watches.
Okay.
When we were talking about this, I think it started life as we're going to roast watch faces, but really the watch is it's a whole thing, right? Because you have the fashion part of it.
Yeah.
You have your complications, you have your settings, you have your bands. So we're going to do it all. The whole thing.
The whole 9 yards. The whole kit and caboodle.
The 9 yards would be a long thigh.
That would be a very long thigh. You would become their Royal Thinus with a thigh like that. I have a question. So we have different things. We have hardware, bands, watch faces, complications, and some settings. Are we going to... What kind of round robin are we doing here? Are we doing like all me, all Steven, all Federico? Or are we doing like each one and then round robin of each of those? Like what are we going to do? Each like area?
I think we do each area. So like you talk about your hardware,
Okay.
your case, your material, that sort of thing, and then I'll go, then Federico will go, or whatever.
Okay. So like I'll do hardware, you do hardware, Federico, and then we carry on.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Yeah.
All right. Am I starting? I guess I am based on your image.
Yes, there's an image in the show
or-
notes, and I put it in the Discord of Mike's watch, my watch, and Federico's watch. Federico's band isn't right. I couldn't find a good image of his color band, but it's in the ballpark.
What I want to know is why you chose this order, because our typical order is you, me, Federico.
Is it in thigh order?
It's in thigh order. Well,
Should it go in thigh order? How would it go in thigh order? Who had the longest thigh? It was
You-
Federico, right?
No,
Yeah,
I
but
thought
then
he
me
was-
and Steven are tied.
Yeah.
You are thighed.
Thigh order?
Or thigh.
The only podcast arranged by thigh order. But usually, like if we're doing a live show, right? It's you, me, Federico.
I wanted the Ultra in the middle since it was bigger. I thought it looked kind of balanced, and I don't know.
I thought you had the coolest one, didn't
just-
you? So you
it
wanted
just
to put it in
happened.
the middle. We'll
just
find out
happened.
about
I do have the coolest watch.
that. You have the biggest watch, like that's for sure. Like,
Yeah.
it's the biggest watch.
It
I
is.
think I have the most stylish watch.
Well, I mean, if you're into a certain like vibe and you like stainless steel
Style,
gold.
like a good one, a good vibe.
Well,
like
let's
a
talk
good
about your vibe. Tell us about your Apple Watch.
I have a gold stainless Series 7. Is it Series 7? Does anybody know? Series 7. I took it off and checked.
No. Is it the new one?
No, that's the Series 8. The new one's the Series 8.
So you-
Okay,
I have
so yeah.
Yeah.
You got
So
the
you got the
7.
7.
Yeah, I have a gold 45 millimeter stainless steel Series 7 Apple Watch.
Okay.
It with a midnight magnetic band.
Okay. I have not experienced this band. Can you walk us through it and how it works?
They are really bad, and
So when Federico says they're bad, what he
They're
actually
bad.
means to say is they are the best ones.
the
Oh, that's
best
what he
ones.
meant.
I mean, if you hate quality, yeah, they're the best
What
ones.
are you talking? Okay, Federico, I do have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
When did you try one of these? Because I am aware that they used to be bad. They went away. They came back. I've got the good ones. Like I think it's good, but this was a thing.
I tried it. I don't know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, like in the first 2 years of the watch.
I genuinely think it might be better because I
I
remember
kept
it was like a thing.
thinking-
People didn't like it.
I kept thinking that the watch was tapping me, and it wasn't the watch tapping me; it was the band moving.
I mean, sometimes the band for me only ever moves when I make it move. Like it doesn't move on its own. But I understand how it could. Mine doesn't, which makes me think that maybe they made this a bit better. I do think this band went away and then they brought it back. And I wonder if they made it better. Because I love it. Like I was really hesitant of it when I bought it. Like I liked the look because I wanted a leather strap with my watch, but I didn't want to get one of the buckle ones. Like I don't like Apple's buckle ones, so I was like, well, I'll give it a go. But I was convinced it was going to come off. Like it would just come off, and it's never happened to me. The watch has never come off, and I have a way of adjusting it. Like if I flex my wrist specifically, if it's on too tight, I can get it to knock by one. But it does. I can't recall it happening to me without like unexpectedly, because then I would think my watch was falling off, and this like isn't a thing that I feel. I love this band. I like that it's really adjustable, and it's adjustable easily, and it doesn't get caught on things and get pulled off. It's a great band, and I think that the pairing of it's really nice. I wanted a leather band because I wanted it to kind of feel and look like a regular watch as much as was possible, which is also one of the reasons that I went with gold, because I wanted to, I don't know. I've said this before, I don't like the design of the Apple Watch in general. I think that it's pretty ugly, and I think now is really old looking. It's why I am intrigued by Steven's monstrosity that he has on his wrist, because it looks different, right? Like the sides and the overall profile and design. So, but I think it's too big and too like gnarly, like especially that thing going on the side is like pretty aggressive. So I really hope Apple will change the design of the watch at some point, because I can't believe it's been like we are hurtling towards a decade with this same visual design.
Yeah.
And I think that that's wild. But yes, I have the most stylish, as they would call it.
The gold, I know you like the gold. You have the gold stainless phone. It's kind of like a Miami Vice vibe to me. Like you need a white sports jacket and drive like an 80s Lamborghini. Maybe do cocaine on the golf course. I don't know. Not for me.
Interesting. Yeah. The one thing that sticks out to me is that like this is the watch for someone who likes to say, "Ooh, I know how to read analog watch faces."
We're not talking about the watch face yet.
Okay.
Pause that. Watch face later, all right?
All right, cool.
We'll come back to that. You and your computers on your wrists, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Like,
it's literally that. It is a computer. Like this is not. You got the gold one because you thought it was a Rolex or something. This is not a Rolex.
no, it's not only Rolex is coming gold.
Do
And
you-
trust me.
Oh,
Trust
I'm sorry.
me. I know this thing ain't a Rolex. Trust
you know
me.
because you have
Is
multiple
this
gold watches,
square
right?
screen, not a Rolex. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Rich Guy playing golf with his multiple gold watches. I'm sorry. I apologize.
One on each
I
wrist.
have one gold watch, and it's this one.
Do you use cellular on your Apple Watch?
No, because I have had an issue with my carrier, and it will not transfer, and I don't want to call them.
If it was fixed magically, would you use cellular on the Apple Watch? Like, is there a place for that in your life?
I don't even know what that would mean, though. You know what I mean? Like, if it uses cellular, I'll use cellular. Like, you saying, like, would I leave my phone at home and go out and no, I wouldn't do that.
No, me neither.
Because currently the microphone doesn't work on my Apple Watch, so I'd be kind of screwed.
Interesting. What happened there?
Don't know.
Did
It just doesn't work. I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea what's happened, but the microphone does not work on my Apple Watch unless I really shout into it. Like if I get right up on the watch and like shout at Siri, then it will do what I ask.
Honestly, that may be a feature. That may be an improvement.
Yeah, but no, because Siri still gets triggered by like me pressing the digital crown by accident, and it's just like, what did you say? Right? Like, it's just
the crown guard helps with that hugely, I will say.
Yeah, but then you're just getting this huge crown guard digging into your hand.
That's true. That I told y'all I tried wearing it the reverse way. That didn't last. It's back to
because that's silly. It's silly to
way.
wear it the reverse way.
I'm trying to think of other questions I have for your hardware. How's the battery life? You're a year and a half into this one. How's that holding up?
It's the only thing that I think is starting to crumble on me a bit. Like if I have a day with like say like 2 workouts or whatever,
look busy guy.
then I'm like that thing can't handle it. Like comes to the end of the day.
If I go for a swim and then play a quick 18 holes, my gold watch dies.
I could play some once I'm finished with racquetball and golf. It's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After being in the sauna for an hour and you got the golf and the racquetball, it's like, I can't handle it.
That poor leather strap is
Lamborghini.
Going through a lot of moisture.
The leather strap has not lived very well over the last couple of years. Like the inside leather is worn a little bit. Like, the outside's great, but the inside is kind of worn away a bit, which is... I will say on the battery, though, the low power mode on the Apple Watch is incredible. Like, when you get to like 10% and turn on low power mode, how long it lasts is awesome. Like that was a good feature that they added rather than that stupid feature they had before where you would turn it into that mode where it would just have the silly green clock and the red lightning bolt on it. It's just like, this is useless to me. Can I be released?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
All right, Stephen, what's going on, man?
This watch is
How much
awesome.
do you want people to notice you? Like at what point? Like are you
Look
just...
at me. Look at me. I got the new giant watch and an orange.
Orange.
Look at me,
Like
look
we
at my
had this whole
wrist.
conversation on this show where you were like, I think I've got to stop wearing the orange watch band because people keep asking me about it.
It's
and
true.
now miraculously, were you upset no one was asking you about your watch anymore?
Do you do this because you feel like you have a particularly attractive wrist?
I think they're okay.
He wants to show it off. It's like, hey, check out my tattoos.
Yeah,
or whatever,
check out
you know?
my wrist and just that body part.
Like, hey, take a look at this.
Look at that, Mr. Nice Wrist Guy.
Mr. Nice Wrist Guy.
He just like pulls up his sleeve a little bit, like, oh, you just so happen to see my wrist.
Yeah, just pokes out of there. I rotate between the 3 Apple Watch bands. So the Trail Loop,
Oh, listen to him.
Alpine Loop, and the Ocean band.
Big Apple Watch buddy over here. What aren't they like $70 each?
I don't want
these
to talk
Ultra
about
bands?
that. We're not talking about that.
He's just buying all the Ultra bands now. Like, oh, look at me and my titanium lugs.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The 2 cloth ones have not held up well. So I'm wearing the Trail Loop today. And the Trail Loop's the most comfortable. That's the one that's got like the Velcro on the inside of it. Where the Velcro attaches, it's like slowly coming apart. Like every time I take it off, there's like fuzz in there where it's like losing material, which is very concerning.
Huh.
It's also and this is true for the orange, kind of the main band as well. The orange gets stained really easily and is very hard to keep clean and to keep it looking nice. Like the orange pull tab on the band I'm wearing today is like got like black lines all over it, and I can like scrub it, but then it is dirty again in like 3 days. So I don't love that about either of these bands. The Ocean band I got in white, I really like.
Yeah.
I find it really comfortable because it's rubbery. It's like easy to keep clean. It's made of very similar stuff to like the regular sports band, I think, but it's bulkier. And so like if I have a long sleeve shirt on with like tight like a dress shirt or something with kind of nice sleeves, the Ocean band kind of gets in the way a little bit because it's just a little bit bulkier. But I do rotate between them.
Yeah.
And I do like the size. The battery life on this watch it's unlike any other Apple Watch. I mean, even with sleep tracking and working out, like you can go 2 days really easily. Like I never worry about the battery life.
I mean, it's the size of a toaster, so like you
It's true.
would want it to have a decent battery in it. Federico, did you know that Stephen lived near the ocean?
Wait, what?
Well, I mean, he has
Right.
this ocean band. Like, I'm only assuming that he's scuba-ing.
Well, the Mississippi River is pretty close.
Yeah, and you get in there frequently, do you? How's that doing for you?
No,
Yeah,
you do not want to get in the Mississippi River.
You're in like that brown river you've got going on over there.
Yeah, you do not
Yeah,
want to
good.
get in the Mississippi River. But yeah, it's a look, right? Like it is definitely a look. But I dig it, and I hope that more stuff uses titanium and looks like this in the future.
And your extreme sports
Yeah.
career is going well.
Have you gone on many adventures with this yet? Is it scuffed because of the adventures?
Yeah, I went to Whole Foods and I was fine.
Uh-huh.
You know, I had dropped waypoints around the store.
What about in like the cold temperatures of the freezer aisle? How did that do for you there? Did the Apple Watch hold up?
It was great. Yeah, it really held up well.
That's excellent. I'm very pleased to hear that. Did you happen to use the GPS satellite emergency at any point? Like maybe you got lost from your wife or something and like you weren't sure where to go.
I did. I said, please find my spouse. I'm lost in the aisle with the jelly and the almond butter and stuff. And they came and got me.
When you wear this watch and you're just like living your everyday life, do you feel like inadequate? Like you're not doing enough with it?
No,
Like, does it make you feel like you don't do enough extreme sports, or that you're,
no.
like as you're currently doing what I think is maybe the most indoor activity anyone could ever do, which is walking on a treadmill desk.
We weren't going to bring that up today.
That could not be further away from extreme, right? Like you are walking very slowly on a treadmill underneath your desk while you're reading, I don't know, old Apple press releases or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, if I were you, Steven, I would feel like I'm letting Tim Cook down.
Yeah, you are letting him down, actually.
Mm.
You should feel that way, because you are. He built that so you could go climb a mountain, and instead you're just, like...
He built that to prevent people from dying,
Yeah.
and all you're doing is walking in your office.
How does that feel, really? Is it good?
I feel like this turned more into a roast of me than my Apple Watch.
You started it. You really did start it. You know, I've been waiting. I've been sitting here biding my time.
I've got the
Very orange.
I've got the action button set to the flashlight. That seemed to be the most useful.
You find yourself looking for many things in the dark?
I did it just the other night. So the other night we had
because you wake up many times a night.
He's going to use the bathroom. You know what I mean?
but we had our fire pit going the other night. I needed to get some firewood and I had my phone on me. But it's like dark back there. I don't want to like stick my hand
You
in
had the fire going?
Well, the fire was going, but the pile of firewood is behind my office.
Okay.
And it's dark back there at night. I don't want to stick my hands in there and there be like a animal or something. And so I just hit the action button and I felt real hardcore and I used it and I got my firewood and then I was saved.
That's really good. Were you setting GPS way markers when you were going to get the firewood just in case?
Just in case, yeah. Which way's the pod
fun.
cabin, you know?
Put the siren on so you scare away the
what kind
raccoons.
of animals were you scared of? Like possums? Like what?
There have been possums.
They're pretty
Yeah?
scary, man.
Possums are messed
Those
up.
things are, yeah.
They have
they're no
have
good.
the sharp teeth, right?
They
got
do.
that-
Yeah, they're no
They
good.
got that
man.
thing going. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, there could be snakes back there,
Yeah.
fiber snakes.
All right. Shall we do mine? Let's do mine.
Real basic energy coming in here.
All right. Look at this. Look at this basic thing. Okay.
You didn't
So-
even pick an Apple Watch. You just got the most basic aluminum silver watch.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I will have one Apple Watch, please.
And they said, here is the default.
Look, I want, like, yeah, like I don't even want to think it. Like, if I were you, like, I would roast myself right now. This is so boring. Like, I despise myself for doing this. This
It's
is
bad, man.
I got a basic Apple Watch, so I got an aluminum Series 7. So not even the latest one. You could be like, well, it's a basic one, but at least it got the Series 8. No, it's a Series 7 aluminum. Like I cheaped out real bad. And what are the sizes now? 44, 45? No, 45 is the Ultra. 44?
49 is the Ultra.
49?
165 is the old.
49? No,
Yeah.
it can't be 49.
Yeah,
Really?
it's their royal fineness of the Apple
Oh
Watch
my
world.
God.
Yeah.
So I got the 45, I guess. What do I have? I don't even know what I have. See, the
It's
thing...
written on the back. Take it off and look on the back.
No, can I?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
you
taking
tell
I
me.
think it's 45.
40? 5. Yeah, 45.
There you go.
I don't know. So my thing with the Apple Watch is that I don't have a specific use case for it. I just like it for notifications and playback control mostly, and the heart rate stuff, obviously, like just feeling safe. So I spent many years with the cellular one. I never used the cellular stuff because let's be real, I never leave my house without my phone. Like
Yeah.
I need to have my phone. I just don't feel safe without it. And so I figured, and these watches, they're easier to resell if you get the cheaper one and you want to sell it to somebody else.
You lose less money, that's for sure. Resell on the Apple Watch is miserable.
Unless you so happened to own a white ceramic Apple Watch.
Yeah, you made bank on that, didn't you?
I think I might have made profit, to be honest, when I sold that thing.
I don't so happen to have one. So I figured, I'm going to get the cheap one with a basic sport band. So the screenshot is wrong, but I have like a sport, like a rubber sport band, like the regular. What is it called? Sport band?
Sport band.
Sport band. Stone. The color is called stone or... Is it sand or stone? I think it's stone.
It is Stone. Adina has that
Stone.
and she loves it.
Yeah.
But you can't get it
looks-
anymore.
It looks nice. You can't get it anymore. Looks nice. But yeah, the thing is, then when they announced the Series 8, I was like, do I need the Series 8? And I figured I didn't. So I kept the 7. But like Mike, I am starting to see the battery life get worse. And I was
it's
just
dying.
telling this to Silvia like 30 minutes ago. It's like, man, I just got a notification for the low battery alert again, and it's happening more frequently. So I'm gonna get the 9, I guess, later this year when they do it. But yeah, it's a boring watch, honestly. Like, I don't know. You guys are right. Please roast me.
People can
bad.
choose this watch if they want to, right? And that can be your
Mm-hmm.
thing. But I know that this isn't your thing. Like, I know silver aluminium Apple Watch is not. That's not your thing.
No,
like
no.
you used to have like titanium, right? Like you were one of those people.
Yeah,
No, I
I think
I
used
don't
to
know what
have. I
happened
used
to
to
you,
have
man.
stainless steel. I used to have that. I know. It's a watch that reflects, I guess, the fact that I was busy doing other things in my life. I was like, no, I just need something simple and basic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wanted to be basic for a while, but the
You're
basic
basic.
vibe does not suit me well. I think because I'm not basic as a person.
Well, your watch choice would suggest you are.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Something I need
pretty
to
basic.
change. It's basic
Because you
It's pretty
effectively
basic.
got a silver Apple Watch and a white sport band. That's effectively what you have.
Yeah.
If you had the blue, do
Basic.
you remember like the original blue? That is like maybe the most basic, right?
Yeah, the underscore blue
Yeah.
band.
Because that was just like everyone had that. Like that was just everybody had that.
Yeah, it's bad. Really bad.
Okay.
Alright.
Very
Cool.
basic, very simple,
Very basic.
very simple.
We really run the whole gamut over the three of us, to be honest.
I think so.
Who would have thought I would have been the most extra? Didn't see that coming.
I would have. If you seen what you drive,
Pickup truck?
Good point.
it's pretty extra, to be
Yeah,
honest.
It's loud. I'll give it that.
That's extra.
Oh, yeah. No, I got wheels and
Lights.
lights and a lift kit and an exhaust. Someone in Discord burned me down the other day because we were talking about like our next like DIY project or something in Discord, and someone was like, "Did you ever fix the antenna on your truck?" It's like, no, but I talked about it on a show like 2 years ago that I broke it off and still haven't fixed it. I have all the parts, but I haven't gotten to it. I've been too busy, swapping watch bands. This episode of Connected is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for building your brand and growing your business online. You can stand out with a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything, products, services, even content. That online store is really pretty cool. You can sell physical and digital products. They have all the tools you need to start selling online. And you can get people into your store using Squarespace's email campaigns. You can have visitors sign up on your website, and then you can start them on the journey to becoming loyal customers. You start with an email template and you customize it using the colors and branding stuff from your website so it all looks the same. And their built-in analytics measure the impact of every email sent. Those analytics also are on the website itself, so you can see where traffic's coming from. They have beautiful charts and graphs to see what's going on. It's all really easy to understand. Squarespace is my favorite place to build a new website for a project or for a friend. I've got a landing page up at like hackit.fm. I really encourage this, especially if you use your own domain name for like an email. Have just a simple one-page thing up so people can get in touch with you. They kind of know who you are a little bit. And that was all built with a template in Squarespace. Took just a couple of minutes, and I think it looks really awesome. Squarespace makes it easy to build what you're looking for. I really can't recommend it enough. Head to squarespace.com/connected for a free trial. You don't have to use a credit card. It's not required to sign up. When you're ready to launch, use the offer code CONNECTED to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain name. Once again, that's squarespace.com/connected and the offer code CONNECTED to get 10% off your first purchase and to show your support for the show. Our thanks to Squarespace for supporting Connected and all of Relay FM. All right, let's talk about watch faces. Mike, you're up.
I use the Metropolitan watch face.
Of course you do.
It's the nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. What do you mean? Of course I
yeah.
do.
I
It's
live
nice.
in a big city. We have electricity and plumbing.
Live in a big
It doesn't.
city.
It's
I
just
could-
what it's called. It's got nothing to do with
I
anything.
live in the city with you know, and I know how to read an analog watch face.
I
am
get
so
healthcare.
fancy. I am so educated. I know how the clock hands move and what numbers mean, even without seeing numbers.
Honestly, I'm not gonna take a roast if I know how to read the time. Like
Oh, really?
this one isn't gonna settle with me. To be honest, like you can feel free to go for it, but like
Look at that.
I'm fine with that. You know what I
So
mean?
you-
It's no
And
problem.
So you,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, when you glance down and you see those clock hands moving, and you can just go.
I know what you
How
are.
do you feel about constantly guessing the time instead of seeing the numbers?
But I am seeing the time.
No, you're guessing the numbers because how can you tell really if it's 46 or 47?
Because it points at it.
No, it doesn't.
I can
It
see that
doesn't.
it's-
Everything about analog clocks is so primitive. I don't understand why people keep using them. Just have numbers.
Because this is the most attractive. You two, your watches will get to it. But that to me, terrible. I can't handle it. The way it looks is so bad. But anyway, my watch face is very attractive. I find myself always annoyed by the transition between always on and on. So I always have to choose like a dark color because the transition is too much. Like I don't know why they can't just like they found a way to do this on the iPhone,
No,
right? The
I would
iPhone's
argue they
always on
don't.
display.
They didn't on the iPhone. In fact, I use dark mode on my phone all the time, partially because I don't like the way the lock screen like comes to life in light mode. It's too much. It's too much.
I
Too
don't
much,
know about
Jerry.
light mode. I use dark mode all the time. But my point is like when my iPhone goes into always on mode and it's an image, it just like dims the colors. But with the Apple Watch, it completely changes the color, right? And so it goes gray in always on mode, and then when it's on, it would change to whatever color you've set it to. So I have to change it to like I have mine in the gray color because it's the only color that like the transition isn't too harsh. So because I would maybe like this in a white or something because I have like a nice white on this watch face. But yeah, I have it, and I have the style where I get like few numbers, and it's nice and comfortable. I like the red hand, like second hand. I like.
Can you change that on Metropolitan?
I do not think you can. No.
I think on Utility, which was like the first good analog watch face, you could change the second hand, and it was fun to change it to like match your band. But they've kind of dialed that back over the years. Get it? They dialed it.
Yeah.
Watch
yeah,
face.
No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It took you a minute to.
Oh, you know what? I've actually just played around with this. They may have changed it. Some colors don't change too much between the always on mode or not.
That's
but
good.
Unfortunately, a lot of the colors that they
Okay.
have are bad. But I'm going to keep the gray for now.
Do you have any alternative watch faces, or is it always this one?
I mean, I have them, but I don't use them. They're
Okay.
like ones I've used to use. You know, like the one that I'm sure will really upset Federico, which is the GMT face. I think I used to use that
Oh
one and
my
it upset him
God.
then.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
one knows
all
how
the
that one
countries and
works.
stuff. No, I know how it works. But
Oh, you're so good.
I just know I have a watch that's like, I mean, we've had this conversation before. I have a watch that does that. So I had to learn how to use that watch when I got the watch. So now I know how the Apple one works.
Metropolitan indeed.
Well, that
Okay.
would make me a world traveler.
Do we want to talk about complications now?
Yeah, sure, if you want to. I mean, we're already on mine, so.
Okay.
I can tell you what I got. Top left is Carrot Weather. Top right is Fantastic Owl. Bottom right is Timery. Bottom left is Fitness or Activity or whatever it's called now.
The calendar one in particular stands out to me. Actually, I talked about this on MPU, I think. I don't like Fantastic Owl's calendar widgets on the iPhone. I also don't really like their complications. I think the text is too big. Like, look how big in 14 minutes is compared to all other texts on your watch. It's too big.
Yeah, but I want to know that information.
You got a meeting in 14 minutes. 14 minutes, guys.
Yeah, but that's important information. But as Federico rightly points out, I don't know when 14 minutes is going to be because you know what I mean? Like, who knows how long it is when you're looking at the hands on the watch?
Who
I can't
knows?
tell.
I will say the Apple Watch has made me change how I name calendar events, where I assume that end of that phrase is like has someone's name in it, right?
Yeah.
So what I do now, say that mine was like meeting with Anthony, I would change it to Anthony meeting.
How did you know that?
Is that his name?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Wow.
How did you do that?
Hand on heart, I had no idea.
Have you hacked me?
Take that, advanced data protection.
That's ridiculous.
That's
How did
hilarious.
you do that?
I just picked a name out of the air.
Or out of my calendar.
But I have changed my event names to be short and to be kind of front loaded with detail, and I find that to be helpful on the watch.
Let me ask you this, Mike. I'm still thinking about the analog watch face. I'm sorry. Do
It's
you
okay.
have a kitchen scale?
Yeah.
Does it have a display?
Yeah, it's a digital display.
Okay, so when you put stuff on it, quickly it tells you the number.
I need the precision, yeah.
Yeah, and you can glance at it, and it's
When do I need to know the precision? You know what I've got actually? What you don't
Yeah.
have? I can
Yeah.
see in seconds when it's about to become a minute, right? You have to sit
Okay.
and wait. Like, oh, how many seconds is it until the minute changes? Like when you've got an embargo, right? You're just looking at your watch and you're waiting for the number to change and you click the button. I get a countdown. by the
sometimes I click
seconds.
before. What are they gonna do? Sue me? No.
No, they're not. I'm in agreement with you that like there are certain things I would need precision for, right? But like for me, time, I so infrequently need to know the exact minutes. Like that is very rare. And if I do, I just look at my phone.
Interesting.
But like it to me, I don't need that. I just need to know it's like, oh, and as I would say, if somebody said to me now, what's the time? I would say, it's just gone 5. Or it's actually just gone 7.
no.
But
Really? You
Yeah,
said-
yeah.
Oh,
just
I
all
might-
rounding, just gone this or
I
quarter
never
past this,
round.
1:45.
Like whenever
Well, yeah, because
somebody
you don't need to. But if somebody says to you, "What's the time?" Right? They
Yeah,
do
give
not
them
want
the
to hear
exact-
it's 4:59. They don't want that.
Well, that's what I say though. I've always been
Yeah,
that
no,
way.
because that's what you've got. You know, I'm more like loosey goosey. You know, I'm just like,
No,
hey, it's
no.
just gone 7. Like, live your life. You know.
No. I need to keep a schedule. Need to be precise and exact and, anyway, and rigorous, I guess.
My
Anyway.
grandma, rest in peace. My grandma used to say, say it was like this was crazy to you, right? This is crazy to me the way she used to say this. Imagine the time was 7:35,
Yeah.
right? She would say 5:20 to 8.
What?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, right?
5
and 20. Not 25 to 8. She would say 5:20 to 8.
5 and 2. Is there a reason why?
I have no idea why she used to say this.
Okay.
My mum says it too, but like I know she picked it up from my grandma. So like it must be some English or London thing
5
or
and
whatever. But it's like, or it'd be like 25 past, it'd be 5 and 20 past. And it always just felt to me like, you're giving me the piece of information I need least first, right? Which is the 5. 25 is more helpful. Like starting
Yeah.
with 5 is not so helpful because it could be anything, you know? Very strange.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Back to the complications.
Yes, please go back.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. Do I have anything to say?
Do you have any thoughts, either of you, on my complication suggestions, like the apps that I've chosen
No.
to be front and center? These all make sense?
It all makes sense to me.
They all make the weather one. Is that's Carol Weather
Yeah.
useful to you to
Very.
have? Yeah.
I like to know at a glance the range in temperature I will experience in a day.
Okay.
Like I find that very helpful for like
Okay.
what kind of coat am I going to get or whatever.
Okay. All right. I mean, pretty basic in a good way, I think.
Yeah.
The complication's more acceptable than the watch face to me. So I'll let this one pass.
I will
think
say as well, for me,
you compensate well. I think.
one of the reasons that I choose the analog watch face is I much prefer the corner complications to any other complication style. Like
oh, interesting. Okay.
I think that they are
We got
the good balance between attractive and information, where I feel like the circular ones don't tell me anything, and the text ones, like the long ones, we'll get to all these in a minute, it's too much. I don't need all of it, you know? So like for me, I feel like corner complications are the best complications.
One thing I noticed is you don't have date or day anywhere, which to me is like one of the most important things in my watch.
Oh, that drives me crazy with this. I've really wished I could add it to this watch face. This is the thing. All right, here we go. Apple, these are computers. Why can't I add the date as a date window on every single watch face?
Yeah, because you
Why
could
don't
burn a
some of them have
complication
that?
slot with it, but you don't want to do that, I assume.
No, I don't want to do that because I don't have somewhere, I don't know why I can't put the date on this. Why can't it have the date? Why can't the date be there?
Yeah.
But some of them have it and some of them don't. And I don't understand what the logic or the reasoning is for that. Like the GMT face has it. It has a little date number. It's not even a window. It's just a number, right? Next to the 3. And it tells me what the date is. I don't understand why every analog watch face, or analog style watch face, doesn't have that. Like, I just don't, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, my problem with Apple too frequently when it comes to watch face design is that they are they restrict themselves too much to try and emulate the watch face that they are emulating, right? So like this is a typical, I have a Metropolitan style watch, which actually does have a date window, but like whatever. But they are like, oh, we got to make it look like that. We've got to make it look like, oh, it can't do anything else. It's got to look like the thing that we're doing. And I just find that to be maddening. Like, I don't understand. Why can't it just be an option for me to add this? It's just another number on a computer screen. Like, it drives me mad, but there we go.
This episode of Connected is made possible by Indeed. When it comes to hiring, you need to trust your gut. But what if you could give your gut some extra help? When you want to find top talent fast, you need Indeed. It is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills when you can do it all in one place with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. If you hate waiting, Indeed's US data shows that over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job. Instant Match really is incredible. As soon as you sponsor a post, you'll get a short list of quality candidates and you can invite them to apply right away. Join more than the 3 million businesses worldwide who are using Indeed to hire great talent fast. Indeed knows that when you're doing everything for your company, you can't afford to overspend on hiring. So visit Indeed.com/connected to start hiring now. That's INDEED.com/connected. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing is not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/connected. And our thanks to Indeed for their support of the show and all of Relay FM.
I just wanted to double check that like I didn't like there wasn't some incredible setting somewhere for me to add this date thing, and I was reminded that there is a share button. I'm like, oh yeah, I can share my Apple Watch face. So if you want my Apple Watch face, I guess I'll try and put a link in the show notes, I suppose.
You know that there are, at the very least, I think 2 web services or like apps that are like galleries for pre-made watch faces based on this functionality that you can install.
Incredible.
And they have like a whole gallery thing going on if you're looking for inspiration or something. I don't remember the names, but they exist.
I don't even know how, like I'm trying, like I can't even find a way to get a link. Like, because if you click it, it just like, it's like on my Mac, it's like, do you want to install this Apple Watch face? Like, where are you going to go? You know what I mean?
Install it on my Mac.
The link is a .watchface URL. What are you doing?
Nice.
Do you have the link, Steven?
Yeah, if you right-click on it and messages on the Mac and hit copy, you can.
I mean, it's probably just like a custom JSON package or whatever. Like if it's a text file with an image and some instructions. I would.
But when I put that into Safari and hit enter, it like tries to load a file. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think there's a way. Actually, I don't even think there's a way for me to share this that doesn't export my iCloud email address. So you're on your own. You know what I mean? Okay. You're on your own.
We got a screenshot. You can see what we're doing. All right, I'm ready.
Honestly, I don't even want to roast you.
All right, well,
I think your watch face is better than mine.
I got it. Don't worry. Stand back. All right, I'm coming in.
Leave him alone. He made decisions with hardware, but software, Steven, you got it. It's super good.
You two, I don't even know what's going on. What's the name of this watch face, this monstrosity that you both got?
Modular something.
Modular.
Modular.
And is it a specific choice to have so many colors on the watch face? Is that like a thing that you choose?
Unlike you, he chose not to be boring.
No, so like what you both like is to walk around as billboards for the apps that you...
Yes.
Right, so like Steven is like looking to rep Todoist specifically with their colors that they choose, right? Like you're cool with that?
Wow, so Mike doesn't like indie developers.
I mean, have you looked at my arms, Mike?
Wait, do you consider Todoist an indie developer?
No, as soon as I said it, I realized that it wasn't. But Carrot Weather, you know.
Federico, no, you're not like running around with like, you're not like advertising your dogs. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I have flowers, snakes, roses.
You're advertising flowers and snakes, like flower brand.
He has a weird fish, unlike you.
No, I mean colors on your body are good.
I never said anything about colors on your body. I never said anything about like colors.
Why
I'm
not
talking
on the
about
watch?
like specifically the colors of the companies, right? Like Todoist has chosen that it's red, and you just have to go with whatever they decided.
Oh, so it's like a whole
corporations, man.
That okay.
Yeah,
all right,
corporations,
cool.
man.
Okay.
I've been playing too much Cyberpunk. You know what I mean? I'm like corporations,
I got
man.
it. I see the vibe. All right, I get it. Okay.
And Steven, is that very nondescript Todoist circle helpful for you?
It's okay. I mean, it kind of gives me a rough estimation of where I am on what I had to do for the day.
So like, here's what I'm saying, right? You two are like, how could you have like this watch face? It's like, how do you even know what the time is? Do you have a good idea of how many tasks you have left today?
Well, I also don't want a number there with like 6.
Why do you even want that? What's the bar? That's like worse than a number. Because that could tell you either have 2 tasks or 4,000 tasks. You don't know.
Most days, it's closer to the 4,000.
Exactly. And like, so you could look at that. It could be a 2-task day, but you've got the anxiety of a 4,000 task day because you don't know because the circle.
It's also a short. Remember, complications are also launcher, so it's also a quick way to get to my tasks for the day.
But does it have to have the ring around it?
I don't know what other complications they have. Let me see. They don't have many.
Do you use Todoist on your Apple Watch?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why?
Because a lot of times I will have.
He's productive.
I own two businesses, son. I got stuff to do.
He does the productivity.
But on the Apple Watch, like how many tasks Are you completing on the watch like your phone or one of your 7,000 Macintoshes aren't within arm's reach?
We're not talking about the Mac today, thankfully, but it seems, okay, prime example. Todoist in the grocery store for your shared grocery list is awesome.
You ever share grocery list in Todoist?
Yeah.
With all your tasks?
Yeah, because
That's
my
a
wife,
choice.
Mary has moved into Todoist full time, and that's where she told me the shared grocery list was. So
I kind of want to unpack all of that. I don't know if you have the time today, but getting your
Yeah, there's
wife
maybe quite a bit
on
to
your
dig in.
task manager, like that's a whole thing. We need to talk about
Do you
that.
assign tasks to each other? Like, what's
No, we
going on
don't,
over
no.
there?
Yeah, that's what I want to get into, but not today. But yes, okay.
we do also have, though, a shared task list that has like things that either one of us could do. Like for instance, we need to make one of our kids an eye doctor appointment, and that's due today, and either she'll do it or I'll do it, and then we'll check it off.
Do you have your
Interesting.
children used Todoist? as
Not
well?
yet.
It's just wondering.
It's just a matter of time. I will say, me and my wife we share 2 Trello boards.
Okay.
We can maybe dig into that another time. You know what I mean? I
In
don't
the
think that's
spirit
for
of my
today.
basicness, we share a reminders list. So
We share a piece of paper. It goes between the two of us.
we actually also do. But yes, okay.
Oh, I love notes. I know it. I love notes. He's so romantic.
I sent y'all a screenshot, and I'm putting it in the live chat in Discord. I was trying to look at complications, and then I came out of it, and now my Apple Watch is stuck in whatever this mode is.
That's actually a better design for your Apple Watch than the one you currently have. I think
It
that's
reminds
better
me of
looking.
when they accidentally enabled the custom lock screen in iPadOS 16.
Yes.
It kind of looked like this.
Yes, it did look like that. It did look like that. Just shortcuts, right? You just want shortcuts, access to shortcuts all
So
the time?
this
or
is
what?
the newest edition. I used to have the breathe thing up there, but then I realized I never really used it.
You
So
stop breathing. Okay.
still breathing. It's getting harder and harder to breathe.
Nice. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. We are the same age and we get the same references. All right. Cool.
But my
Man,
shortcuts for
Maroon 5
the
used
Apple
to be
Watch.
a good band, though. I'm sorry.
They
but
were
used-
so good.
They
That
were so
first
good. What
album,
happened?
like
What
kids
happened to
today,
them?
they think Maroon 5 is a certain thing. Do you even know about songs about Jane?
Exactly.
Do you even know?
Thank you. Do they know? Kids these days, do you know Maroon 5? No. Songs
You don't
about
even
Jane,
know.
man.
You don't
That was
even
good.
know.
That was good. I'm so upset about Maroon 5 now. Anyway, sorry, Steven. You go ahead.
So in the shortcuts on the watch, all of them are just to set HomeKit scenes or to control specific things that I want to do easily. I tried, and I see in the same spot on your smaller, worse watch, Federico, you have home. That's too much for me on the watch. I just want a handful of things. So I have a scene that basically turns on all my HomeKit lights in the house, which is in several rooms, and like open and close the garage door, arm or disarm the alarm, just a handful of things. And so this is new for me. I'm still kind of trying it out, but so far I'm digging it. Now, getting shortcuts on the watch to sync with shortcuts on the iPhone is like kind of hit or miss. Like
You should run Apple Frames on the watch.
I think it would explode.
You should do it.
I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to see what happens.
No, it won't. I don't think
Yeah,
it will
it's
work.
got to have that iCloud folder of all of his
Yeah.
Let's-
JSON.
Look, I can find out though, can't I? You know what I'll say? We're not on to Federico's yet, but you mentioned the Home app. The Home app on the Apple Watch feels like it was written in WatchKit. Like, it
Yeah,
feels
it's
like
bad.
every
Bad.
single time it has to load and check every single device. Like, I don't understand, right? Like, why can't it be aware
Yes.
of the state of my home like my phone is? Like, I don't, every time I open the Home app on my phone, it's not like everything's unavailable for a second until it checks them all and loads them all.
Yeah, and that scrollable list. Oh my God! Just give me a grid of stuff.
So bad.
Actually, if
I
anybody,
actually don't even see Apple Frames on my watch. Like,
yeah,
is
it will not show up because it's not compatible. Actually, if anybody has recommendations for like, are there like a third party like HomeKit clients for the watch?
Isn't Home
Because
Plus on the watch?
Is it? Now that I have a new home automation setup, I need to rethink that because we'll get to that in a minute. But that home app on the watch, it's super bad, and I don't like it.
I had to turn on Apple Frames on the watch. So
Don't do it.
Maybe
it
there's
will
still
not work.
There might still be hope. Yeah.
My Apple Watch is now rebooting to the Apple logo.
What did you do? What did you do to it?
I just went into complications, and then that screenshot happened. I put it in the show notes, and now it's mad. So, anyways,
How do you quit Apple Watch apps? How is that a thing? Is it possible? Even?
Yes. So you hold down the side button, and then when the menu for like shutdown and all that appears, you hold down the crown instead, and it force quits the app, I think.
Whoa. So, I mean, something happened. I don't know what just happened.
At least it used to be that.
Because there's people like say in the side button. I don't have recent apps in the side button menu thing. I have like a selection of apps that I always want because
yes,
that's what I want.
that's the correct way to use the dock on WatchOS.
Yes,
because like
I agree.
trying to get to any app on the Apple Watch is always a nightmare.
Anything else with my complications?
Oh yeah, I'm not even nearly done.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Why, like the calendar one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like prime real estate. That's the only thing that you have there, correct?
Yes. Now, I do have a watch face that I use on the weekends. I use Modular Duo that basically gets rid of the calendar and makes Carrot Weather bigger in the bottom. But during the work week, calendar is up front because so much stuff on my calendar, and it's important to me to be able to glance down and see that, I've got whatever coming up or I'm supposed to be doing something.
Vidit has recommended Home Run 2.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
I should have remembered. Yeah,
Yeah.
Home Run. I'm gonna set that up again.
Now Federico.
What?
He's just
Oh my God.
Shazamming all over the place.
Yes. Well, Why is this? Why do you need it on the watch?
Okay, so many times it happens that like I'm in a store, or just I hear a song, and I wanna recognize it quick. I was like, yeah, it's a cool song. Like it happened today. For example, we were shopping for knives. All right.
Whoa.
I dislike my knives, my kitchen knives, like my regular knives. They're bad knives. So we went to the store like downstairs at the mall. And I was like, I need to get some knives. And there was this cool song playing. And I just, I tapped on the Shazam icon on the watch. And I sort of held up my wrist like I was calling for, somebody's attention. But it wasn't. I was Shazamming the song that was playing on the radio inside the store.
But why not just ask?
Yeah, what? Talk to the watch in public?
You're holding your arm up.
Well, it's
You're
less
hardly
bad.
like inconspicuous.
No, I don't want to be like, oh, you can just do it, like pretend you're doing something, like, I don't know, like scratching your head or something, but instead you're Shazamming. I actually do it all the time. It's like be casual, you're touching like your ear or something. It's like, yeah. But in the meantime, you're actually doing the Shazam. I don't want to be the guy, talk to the watch. Oh, look at me, I'm a secret agent talking to my watch. No,
Not with that watch. Maybe the gold one.
Yeah, no secret agent would wear that one.
Exactly.
Unless they were trying to like go undercover as an absolute basic person.
Yeah, I mean that would be the vibe. That would be the vibe. Yeah. All right, cool. Okay, so that's the reason for Shazam. What else? I know where this is going anyway.
Big Spotify fan, you know what I mean? Just like
okay, so
big Spotify fan.
I am trying Spotify again. This is not like a serious commitment. It's just an exploration of sorts.
I would say putting it on your actual watch face is a pretty big commitment. Like
Yeah,
you've committed.
Given the circumstances, yes. And I'll tell you that from the watch, it is super nice. Well, now I cannot tell you because, my watch died. See, that battery is not...
Yeah, that battery's no good, man. What are you doing over there?
I don't know.
What's happening to you?
Maybe I should get a Series 8, actually, before... I cannot wait for the 9. Maybe I should get an Ultra. Maybe I should just do it.
Just do it.
Is that where this episode leads? That Federico ends up buying an Apple Watch Ultra?
Should I buy an Ultra? Should I buy an Apple Watch Ultra, guys? Do you think?
You know what, Federico? Do
Yeah.
it right now.
No.
Come on.
Do it on the show.
Come on. Go to apple.com/IT, I assume is the URL that you need.
No.
Just do it.
No, I need
Just
to sell
do
this
it.
for... No, I need
Come
to...
on. No, you can sell it afterwards. What, are you going to go with no watch? Come on,
Sylvia
just
won't
do
let me
it.
do it. No, I don't appreciate this peer pressure. This is peer pressure. This is bad. Anyway, maybe I will buy an Apple Watch Ultra. I don't know. I don't really need an Apple Watch Ultra, but the big display is nice.
Federico, let me break it to you. 99% of people that buy the Apple Watch Ultra do not need the Apple Watch Ultra, including our friend here, who, as we have already pointed out, just uses a treadmill desk all day. You know what I mean?
We're not
Uses
talking about that
uses it
today.
because he can't see. He can't see in the dark, and
the
he
thing
needs
is,
a flashlight.
I have already spoken about it multiple times, so like,
No.
it's happened.
Regardless,
Yeah, I've already
the
mentioned
so the Spotify app is nice because it lets you control the Spotify Connect thing from the watch.
Okay, that is
That's
cool.
It's nice.
That is cool.
Much better than
That is
AirPlay.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
that's-
pretty cool.
It's nice.
Is there there isn't a Sonos watch app, right? But you could just use that,
Yeah.
I guess.
I wish AirPlay was more like the Spotify
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I wish the same.
Yeah.
It's
Reminders.
Good that today is complete. That's good.
Today is complete.
Reminder. So I am at this moment, I am in between task managers.
Interesting. What's that? I've never done that.
Federico, this isn't meant morbidly, but that could be put on your tombstone.
Both of
Well,
us.
yes, but
I'm in
it's
between
also
task
part-
managers. I would
it's
say
also-
Federico's worse than you, Stephen, in this one area.
Yes, yes.
I haven't even told you everything I've done recently in my setup.
But we know you're on Todoist.
I think when the time is right, I think I will easily one-up you on that. Like,
Oh yeah, I know this. I've seen hints of this. I know what's happening.
no,
But
I don't
loose
think you
lips
do.
sinks ships, as they say.
Interesting. You should text me privately, Mike, if you have guesses.
Oh, I know what's going on.
But I am in between task managers at the moment. However, I never stop using reminders with Sylvia. So I basically only use it for shared stuff. And I put it there so that I don't forget the things that we put in reminders. See, I got a text from Mike. Let's see.
This is unfair to me. I feel left out.
No, yeah. Well, no, Mike, that's not.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm wrong then, so it doesn't matter. My guess was wrong.
Well, yeah, that is correct
Oh.
actually, but it's the bigger surprise. I was afraid you actually caught. It's not that.
Oh.
It's not that. Much bigger thing of which I actually dropped many hints in the past few weeks in public, but I did it elegantly and cleverly so that nobody noticed.
Well, I mean, it depends what you're talking about, because I have some theories about some stuff you're up to anyway.
At least you're being humble about it,
Who are we talking to now?
Federico.
Okay. many hints. Many hints. Today complete is a terrible way to say that you finished all your tasks. Like, what on earth does that mean? Today complete.
To the complete. So yeah, I
have nothing more to say about your watch because there really isn't much to say about it.
Yeah, it's pretty basic, right? The home icon I will probably replace like tonight with the home run icon.
Thing? Yeah.
Yeah, now that I have, we'll talk about this maybe next week. New home automation setup that I have finally. It's very basic. I mostly use my watch for glancing at the time, controlling music and podcasts, and making sure that I'm not dying because of the heart rate monitoring stuff.
That's good.
You
Yeah.
don't have any fitness or activity stuff on the watch face though.
No, I don't, and I don't use it.
So you're not worried about your rings.
No,
Anything like that?
I don't do the whole thing with the rings anymore. It was too much anxiety, you know.
I agree with.
And the system is not flexible enough. It's like, don't make me feel bad.
That I agree
You know, it's another thing to complete every day. And I used to like really do it.
Uh-huh.
But no, I don't need that stress in my life anymore. So yeah, that's it.
But I do it, but I agree that it's a stress and they
So what we've learned, I think, is that I have the best taste in Apple Watches, hardware and software. Mike is fancy, and Federico is basic, but in love with Shazam.
I would just say I don't agree with your assessment of yourself.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
I
just
feel
wanna-
like-
you can say it, but I don't agree with it.
Mike, do you have a like a monocle?
I wished.
Yeah, that kind of fits.
But that'd be
you.
no good to me. I'd need two monocles because I need glasses. So like
Right.
wearing a monocle's no help.
Yeah,
You know?
I guess you're right. Because
I have
it
two
kind of-
monocles currently.
Okay, all right.
Binacle. Barnacle. 2 last questions. Sounds on and off.
Off.
Of course.
Of
Always
course.
off.
I mean, we're civilized.
Always off.
App list or honeycomb
Honeycomb.
List.
list.
Boring.
What do you want the honeycomb for, man?
So
How
that
is
I can. It's so that I can cringe whenever I see it.
Oh, you're looking for. You know what? That's a perfectly reasonable.
Like every
way
time I
to
say, I was
think.
like, man, I mean, look at this
What
thing.
did you do? What was
Yeah.
that? What a miss!
It's an icebreaker. It's a nice conversation starter. And it's like, I mean, look at this. Yeah.
Can you imagine? They did this.
Exactly.
It doesn't ship default like that now,
I
right?
think it does.
I feel like the default's got to be the list, right?
I think it.
So in the setup, it now asks you what you want.
Okay.
So I just went through this helping somebody set up an Apple Watch for the first time. So it asks
Was it you when you
No.
broke it? And you got another one?
No, Mary got a Series 8 for Christmas, and her Series 6 went to my mom, who was wearing an old Series 5. And I had trouble with the backup, so I had to set it up fresh for her. And it's in the onboarding now.
I had a thing recently where I said to my mum that I wanted to buy her an Apple Watch because, like, I thought it'd be really good for fall detection and stuff. That did not go down well.
Yeah, you can't mention the fall detection.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
too late.
But I'm just like, Mum, I'm worried that you're going to fall over. You live on your own. But, like, no, she wasn't happy about that. So,
If you want to find links to the stuff we spoke about this week, they're on the website at relay.fm/connected/437. There's, of course, there's an image there, of course, of all of our Apple Watches and some other stuff we spoke about. Home Run 2 for HomeKit and Federico's Fiber. Lots of things going on in the show notes. While you're on the website, or if you're just looking at the links in your podcast player, a couple of things we want to draw your attention to. First, you can leave feedback on our website. There's a link in the show notes, and any feedback or follow-up we'd love to see there. You can also become a member and get Connected Pro, which is a longer and ad-free version of the show each and every week. This week we spoke about Mike's entrance into the world of sports. Mike is going to be the next Tiger Woods, seems like.
do you remember that ad? I'm Tiger Woods. Do you remember that ad, the Mercedes ad?
Kind
I'm
of.
Tiger Woods. I'm Tiger Woods.
You're Mike Hurley. You can find us all online.
Nike, not Mercedes.
Nike. Federico is the editor-in-chief of MacStories.net. They write and podcast about all the stuff we talk about here. If you're not reading Mac Stories, what are you even doing with your life? You can also find Federico on the Don at, was it MacStories.net is y'all's instance?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did tricky web stuff to make that work, right?
Well, you can either search for @Vitici at macstories.net or just type in your browser address bar vitici.macstories.net and it'll take you there.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mike hosts a bunch of other shows here on Relay FM. He's also the co-founder of Cortex Brand. You can learn more at cortexmerch.com. Mike, you are also on the Don at mike.social.
Correct.
You can find me online. I write at 512pixels.net. I'm a co-host over at Mac Power Users on every Sunday here on Relay FM. And I am at eworld.social on the Mastodon.
It's never not funny, man.
It's perfect.
It's never not funny.
I'm glad y'all like it. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week. They are ZocDoc, Squarespace, and Indeed. And until next week, guys, say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Cheerio.
Bye, y'all.